Welcome back to Studio F. On Fast Times Willy B. We'll be reviewing Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell.
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I've got Kory with me, and the last one is here. We take it to 1995 with Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, which was originally going to be called Halloween 666: The Origins of Michael Myers. Sick title. Discovered that in my Crow VHS. But nonetheless, we're here for the end of what is the original Hexology storyline before we went to 20 years later, and then Resurrection, then Zombie, then 40 years later. So we're going to cap it here, but director-wise, we got Joe Chappelle. Once again, another director, new guy in the chair. Cast-wise, we've got Donald Pleasant's back. I can't remember her last name, but Marianne plays Tara, our main girl. I can't remember her last name. I always thought she was Amy Adams when I was little.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. And then we get Paul Rudd.
The Ant-Man himself.
Yeah, Tommy Doyle. Best rendition of Tommy Doyle.
Agreed.
But we'll start with the good.
Agreed.
Honestly, I think, once again, I like the opening to this movie. We have the chase scene through the rain. And discretion, we have both seen the theatrical and the producer's cut. And we both lean theatrical cut. So when we're talking about our good and stuff, it's probably going to come from that.
Absolutely.
So, but the opening scene in the rain with, Jamie has a daughter, or is it a son? Has a baby.
Yeah. A son, I believe.
I think it is a boy.
It's a boy. Yeah.
Jamie has a kid, a little young one too.
A young
And
a
she's
youngin'
running
for
through the
sure.
rain away from Michael, and she gets got, but
She do get got.
the baby is hidden and discovered by someone else.
I love that. Yeah.
But
Mr.
I don't know.
Paul
It's
Rudd.
just it's a good, like, it's tense and it kind of just locks you in pretty quickly.
For sure. I mean, I do like that underground facility as a set. And then going out into the rain, her in a not hospital gown, taking a baby with her. It's really upsetting every time. It's like Titanic mindset. You know, when you watch the Titanic, you're like, oh, I hope the Titanic doesn't sink.
Yeah.
Every time I watch this, when she gets in that truck, I'm like, dude, there's no way he's catching up.
Yeah.
And every time she pulls into that travel stop or whatever it is it a train stop or something? Travels? I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like a travel stop. Anyway.
Yeah.
Every time I'm always like, just keep going.
Yeah.
You know, or something. I don't know. He's starting to ram her off the road. Just every time it feels like she should have gotten away. It's so upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's movie making for you folks.
Yes. And now we're back in that Myers house. So the Strode family now lives in the Myers house. It's John Strode, douchebag.
Weird turnaround though.
With-
Why would they move in that house?
I don't know.
Like
Probably
after
cheap.
his nephew, or
Yeah.
after his niece died,
Yeah.
and then his niece's daughter died. And
Yeah.
From that house, weird.
But Tara and her son Danny are living with her parents and her brother. What's her brother's name?
Billy.
I wanted to say Barry, but Barry's definitely the DJ.
Right. Yeah.
It's besides the point.
We're gonna call him Young Man.
I like him though.
Yeah. He's good. He's good. He's a creepy little fucker.
I like Tara.
I guess
Danny.
I shouldn't say that, but
Well, are you talking about Danny?
yeah,
The son?
Danny.
Yeah, because he's getting...
Oh yeah, you're talking about the brother. I was thinking of Danny the son.
Yeah.
When he pulls the knife on the dad, I
Yeah.
do love that scene.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
But I like that trio we get there with brother, sister, and
Yeah.
son/nephew. And then, we get Paul Rudd as Tommy Doyle.
You just smile every time you say Paul Rudd.
Dude, I love Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's... He's just an amazing person,
Yeah,
I
he is.
assume.
Yeah. Presumably. And if he isn't, we always hated him.
I mean, he called Mjolnir Jonathan. You can't get better than that.
That's true.
But he's easily my favorite rendition of Tommy Doyle in the three renditions we get. And I say that not hating on the original Tommy Doyle, because Tommy Doyle was a kid. I just like Tommy Doyle growing up.
Oh, yeah, I do too. I think it's cool that he's also, like, I don't know. These movies always have a lot to do with like trauma and stuff. So I think it's interesting that he became a shut-in after that.
Yeah.
So I mean, if watching the movie as a kid just scared the jeebies out of me, being the kid in the movie going through that,
Yeah.
that would be pretty detrimental to.
Yeah.
They should have put Lindsay and Wallace in the movie too. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Like, what if they were just a cool little detective like duo, just like always looking for like, is Michael Myers back? We're gonna stop.
That
him.
would be cool.
That would have been cool,
Yeah.
right?
For sure. I like Tommy in this movie because he's the one that gives us all the lore on Thorn too. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for that stuff. I think it's interesting. I
do
think
too.
it's fun. I know, like, one of the cool things about the earlier Michael Myers movies is you don't know the method behind the madness.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like this, you know, take on the method behind the madness and the Curse of Thorn and how it makes you want to kill your family on the day of Samhain. I don't know. It always interested me, and that's why I've always had fun with these first 6 movies.
Every time I watch these movies, they're kind of like the X-Men movies where, you know, just kind of reasoning and logic and characters and relationships, whatever, they change so much that just movie to movie, I just accept what we're given at the time. You know,
Yeah.
I don't really think about the Curse of Thorn when I watch the first 4 or 5 movies, really, and then really this one is whenever I'm just all in on Curse of Thorn. I just take it as it comes to me, you know.
Yeah. We do get introduced in the 5th one. We forgot to mention it, and I said I was going to mention my final thoughts, and I didn't when we recorded 5.
Well, yeah,
but I like the appearance of
the Man in Black,
and breaking Michael out of jail, and that's where this one starts. Obviously, years later, Jamie has the kid and is trying to escape from them. But yeah, I really dig the Curse of Thorn stuff. And Tommy Doyle, like his explanation on it, I always thought was a cool scene when he has Tara and Danny up in the bedroom and Jamie's baby, because he's the one that finds her at the train station. While all this is going on, we have DJ Barry just being kind of a dick.
A douche.
Doucher. He tells them that they live in the Myers house, which I didn't know. But something I've always loved about that stuff is it feels very much like Halloween because of that radio stuff. And then Barry's demise.
Yeah.
Being like all crunched up in the tree, and the girl's like, "It's raining red."
See, to me, when I think about Halloween, or when I think of fall and I separate it from the night of Halloween, I always think of like Oktoberfesty kind of whatever. Because when I was growing up, our family had like this church festival thing that we did every year. Forget what it was called, but it was on fall. It was at the fairgrounds or whatever. And this is essentially that.
Yeah.
But and you know, it just always reminded me of that.
Yeah.
That little fall festival that we had. So dude, I love the vibe of that festival.
And then the couple goes home and Michael's there for them. And then we get a third act that I'll get into in another category as far as like structure goes. But I do enjoy it. I don't think it's all good, but there's good in the third act.
Absolutely, absolutely.
In the conclusion, especially with the theatrical cut, because I like the cliffhanger of the mask being on the ground. What happened to Michael? I love the screams we get from Loomis. Is Loomis dead? Is Loomis alive?
Yeah.
You really don't know. They leave it up to your imagination with this 6th one, and so that's why I like the theatrical cut a little more, because it just leaves it up in the air. But yeah, man, it's messy. But,
yeah, it for sure it gets messy at times, but I think there's pretty good kills. I think there's some pretty good moments of tension for sure. This movie kind of has a lot of points where it really has me, and then it kind of backs off, and then it really has me, and it kind of backs off. So it's kind of just a ride, scene by scene. Just however it goes, it goes.
What's your favorite kill?
My favorite kill is probably the dad.
Yes, I was gonna say the same thing.
The dad, or even the mom. I kind of think getting stuffed in the washer is kind of
that's true.
interesting, and then him seeing all the stuff and but the dad. I mean,
the electrocution, head explosion.
It's fun. Or the guy in the tree. I mean, you don't see it obviously.
Yeah, but it's cool with the little girl underneath it, like, oh, it's raining red.
For sure. That's like, it's a pretty dark moment.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd goes to comfort her and stuff. God damn you, Paul Rudd, you son of a bitch, you nice guy. Yeah.
But yeah, I like the setting of the Myers house a lot too in this one. We kind of touched on it.
Sure.
I feel like that also adds to the spooky vibe.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
just anytime there's something going on in the house, it has an ominous feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely. That house definitely has. I mean, they talk about it. It's like the boogeyman's house or whatever.
Yeah.
And even whenever there's people living there, you get the feeling.
I mean, like, once we get the first kill at the house, every time we visit that house, somebody dies.
Something bad happens. Yeah.
Because the mom gets killed, and then it's the mom in the washer, like you said, and the dad gets electrocuted. And then from there, her brother and brother's girlfriend go home, and Beth. I don't know why I can remember the girlfriend's name, but I can't remember.
That's
his
wild.
Name.
Yeah.
But
no way I would remember her name.
Him and Beth go home, and then they get murked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
So it's like, just like every time you go there, you're like, okay, when's it gonna happen?
And cult setting stuff has always kind of uneased me.
Yeah.
So like seeing all those dudes in black robes in the living room, whatever, and then the old lady who like would like babysit or like also has. Does she have a knife pulled too, or she's holding the baby, but she's working with
the cult? Yeah, she's like the person that runs the home that Tommy lives in.
Yeah.
And
like the landlord or whatever.
She has the baby because they're trying. It's Michael's baby.
Yeah.
Or not Michael's baby, but
depending on the cut, is directly
theatrical. Is it theatrical?
Theatrical. It's kind of implied. Producers, it's strictly
like said. Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, they don't. Yeah, I have stuff to say about that.
I was gonna say I can't remember if theatrical like said it like they did in producers. Or not, but...
like we're sticking to theatrical for the most part, but I do that specific thing I'm putting in the bad.
Yeah, which we'll get to. Yeah. But yeah, they're just trying to take and then Danny obviously has a little connection too, so they're trying to take Danny.
Trying to set him up as the next young blood.
And that's when we discover that the old guy that ran Smith's Grove is Dr. Wynn, is the guy in black.
Which I think is interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool little twist. I
mean, if you're gonna connect somebody to Michael Myers, I guess somebody from Smith's Grove is probably
the best bet.
The way to do it. Yeah.
And then that's when we get to the third act, which we've already touched on. I enjoy it for the most part. We get some more Thorn lore. We get just madness, honestly.
Yeah, it is madness down there. And Michael, I mean, I like that at certain points he just gets mad and just kills some of the staff anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's...
Him turning on them was cool, honestly.
That's got to be really unfortunate. It's like, I got to be a doctor for this creep and his fucking bodyguard. Yeah. And he might try to kill me if he gets pissed. Yeah. That sucks.
And he did.
Yeah, he did.
But we can hop over to the meh. Parts of the third act I put in the meh. It's a messy third act.
Yeah.
I like it for the most part, but I can't look past that it is a mess.
It makes some decisions that you're like not crazy about, you know? The tension isn't always there. Sometimes it's there. Yeah. Sometimes he's like too close to them and then they like shut the door and lock the key, whatever, and I'm like, how did he not grab you? Like just minor things like that. And then obviously how it ultimately ends with him getting like tranquilized or whatever you want to say.
It's like a corrosive chemical.
Yeah.
So that's why you kind of get the feeling that with the mask left, Michael dies. Mm-hmm. But that's what I like about the theatrical cut. I like the cliffhanger
of vagueness. Yeah.
We never find out.
I mean, these movies are always at their best when they have some sort of cliffhanger at the end, I think. So yeah, I think it works for that, but also just Michael getting beat by a pipe is kind of wild.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how I feel about that.
If there was anybody but Paul Rudd, it'd probably be in the bed.
For sure. I don't think I like it, but I don't think I hate it either. So I think meh is kind of where that deserves to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Also in the meh, I'm gonna put the look of Michael because I've never been crazy about this one. The hair specifically was bugged me.
Yeah.
Weird, sporadic. It looks like Goku.
A little bit, yeah.
It's weird. I was never crazy about
very
that.
90s punk.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I don't like the mechanic suit. It's gray. I don't like the gray.
Yeah.
I think blue is always better.
Yeah, go navy.
Or even the tan for the Rob Zombie ones. I never hated, but yeah, not a fan of this gray one. But I guess we should have mentioned. I mean, in the good, I'd say this. Is this still George P. Wilbur in this one?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he's still great as Michael.
Yeah.
I think he's got the right speed, the right.
Yeah, I agree. That's why he got brought back.
For sure.
I don't know if I have anything else than that. Do you?
I'm gonna put score in here just because it's not memorable.
That's fair.
I think also I'd put like cinematography because there's nothing that stands out, but there's nothing that's bad at all. Yeah. I think it's shot well, so I guess it does stick more closer to good, but I'm putting in med just because we're here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Swap over to our bad. That's where I'd put John. His kill's great.
Yeah.
But he's just a douche for no
what
reason, man.
Dick.
Like,
please, that kid should have gutted him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got what he deserved.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I didn't like John.
No. In the producer's cut, I don't like how things end, really. It's kind of a cool idea, him getting surrounded by a magical...
Like the
I don't know.
runes.
Yeah,
I was going to say, if we're talking producer's cut, I'd probably put the whole third act in the bad.
Yeah.
I mean, because they really go diving into Michael being the dad.
Too much. That's what I was going to get to, though, is that's like an evil orgy where he... I guess it's kind of implied that he doesn't actually have sex with her, but maybe he does. Dude, I don't know. It's terrible. Yeah. Incest, like R.A. You can spell the rest. Just
so we're gonna stick to the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
So scrap that from the bad. Don't let it impact your score.
Sure. Stay away from that producer's cut, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. But I don't know. I don't have a lot of bad. This is another one.
That's all I have for bad.
I was gonna say this is another one where I have a good time with it. So we can hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. We want to leave off with the Curse of Michael Myers. What do you give it out of 10?
I mean, this one, I always, as a kid, it still scared me.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't scare me the most like the other ones, even though it's newer, which was kind of unusual, you know?
Yeah.
And whenever I started to really get into these movies, this was kind of one that I always kind of was dismissive about. And I don't know if it's just spending time with you or what, but I've kind of turned around on it, right? This is one that I actually genuinely like more than a lot of the others.
Yeah.
I think it's on the better half, or if not, it's like right in the middle.
Yeah.
And I just enjoy it more than I used to.
For sure.
So I think with this one, I'm gonna give this one probably a 7.
Okay. Yeah. So step up from 5.
For sure. Definitely a step up from 5.
I'm gonna be in this. I'm gonna hop in the same boat as you. I'm gonna go 7 out of 10 as well. When it comes to the first 6 movies, man, I have a good time with all of them. Throw out at least a 7.
Absolutely.
But this is another one. It captures Halloween really well. We got some cool kills. We bring back the Myers house. Bring back Tommy Doyle with great casting.
Mm-hmm.
And we dive more into the lore of the curse, and I enjoy the curse stuff, albeit messy at the end. I still have fun with it. It's interesting to me. Mm-hmm. It never bores me.
Yeah.
So I have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I have a good time with all 6 of these movies. Someday we'll have to tackle the rest of them.
Yeah. First 6 are definitely special.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good original timeline. That'll do it for Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Kory, thank you for tackling all of those movies with me.
Absolutely, brother.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. Let us know in the comments. How do you rank the first 6 movies? Mm-hmm. Which one's your favorite? What's your favorite kill? Let us know. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.